Who's the one actor that you met who was one of your favorites and they couldn't have been better and nicer?
Oh, wow.
And you were like, wow, thank God they were cool.
Wow, that's a good question. Kind of, I got it. It's a tough one, but I gotta say, all the biggest actors, like the biggest names I've worked with, have been awesome. You know, Downey's awesome, Clooney's awesome, Brad Pitt's awesome. Yeah, those
It's
three.
the smaller ones that aren't that great, right? The ones that aren't as big, maybe.
You get a little attitude with that. It's not even the smaller ones. It's the big ones that have lasted a really long time. And then you're like, oh, this is why they lasted, because they're nice. Like, they're not just talented, but they're super nice. And they make it easy for people to shoot movies with them. And then you go, oh, that's the key, is just be like super nice.
Who is the worst? You can't say it. But you have one in your mind, right? You have one in your mind.
The worst famous person that I met as a fan.
As a fan.
I'll tell you one thing. Okay. I'll tell you a funny story really quick. Okay. And then I'll try to make this quick. I'm 21 or 22 years old, 23 actually. And I get my first lead part in a small indie movie, tiny indie movie. It's going to shoot in New York City. And the producer has us come to her apartment in Tribeca for a table read. And I go to the table read and, we do the reading and the director is like, hey, stick around after the table read. I want to talk to you specifically about your role. I said, great. I stick around. There's pizza there. And I'm 23 years old. And at the end of our no session, he says, hey, you want to take the pizza with you? And I'm like, hell yeah. And I walk out of her apartment and directly across the hall with his apartment door open, holding his apartment door open, is Robert fucking De Niro, right? And I freeze because I had 1 week prior just seen Raging Bull. And I froze. I was scared of him. And he slammed the door in my face. And I can't believe what happened. I turn, and standing by the elevator in this building are his two twin children. He had twins, and they're like 4 or 5 at this point, maybe 6. And they're standing there and they see that I have pizza and they want the pizza, right? And I'm like, no, you can't have the pizza. And I'm also super afraid to go knock on De Niro's door and say, hey, you left your kids out here. I assume he knows the kids are out there. Like, I got to get out of there, man. I just got the door slammed in my face. I'm scared. And like an idiot, I push the elevator button. And the elevator comes, and these two get in the elevator. Okay. So now Robert De Niro's 4 or 5-year-old twins are in the elevator of this building. He's in his apartment. If I leave to go knock on his door to tell him, the elevator door closes, they go downstairs. So I'm stuck with his twins. I go into the elevator with them. I say, here's what's going to happen. They're like, can we have the pizza? I'm like, no, I'm not going to touch them. I'm not going to physically force them out. So I'm like, here's what's going to happen. We're going to go down to the lobby. I'm going to press your floor and you go right back up and you go home. Okay. So we go down the lobby. I press their floor. Lobby door closes. 23-year-old stupid me is like, okay, I did it. Get out of here. Go home. A few years ago, Tribeca Film Festival. I'm a juror. They have this luncheon. Aaron Rodgers is there. And there's Robert De Niro. And I think, I'm going to tell Robert De Niro this story. So I go up to Robert De Niro and I say, hey, Mr. De Niro, I'm so sorry to bother you. My name's Dave. And I just want to let you know I'm a huge fan of yours. And I just want to tell you a funny story. And I tell him the story I just told you. And he laughs. He laughs. Thank God. He's not pissed. He laughs. Yeah, his kids are okay. They're grown up. Nothing ever happened. I go. They announce, hey, okay, everybody, now we're all going to go upstairs and deliberate on our films. I said, great. I go to the elevator to go upstairs to this room where I'm going to deliberate with Aaron Rodgers and whatever, waiting for the elevator. And Robert De Niro comes and stands next to me waiting for the same elevator. And like an idiot, I turn to him. I go, well, you'll be the third De Niro I ride an elevator with, and start laughing. And he goes, I'm going to take the stairs. And he did.
Oh my God. I'm going to take the stairs.
I think I'll take the stairs. And boom, took the stairs.
And that was it.
75-year-old man took the stairs.
You should have said, I hope you fall down them. You old fuck.